Good morning, everybody. It's afternoon here in London. I'm going to go through studying abroad at St Mary's. I recognise a couple of your names, so you're interested in semester one next semester, next year. So I'm going to go through various things. So hopefully you will learn something this morning. There's quite a lot of photos and quotes from other students as well, which I think you'll hopefully find useful. Right, so my name's Rhianne James. I'm the Study Abroad Coordinator here at St Mary's, and I look after all of the incoming U of A students. So all of the comms that I'll be sending out will give you all the information that you need before you arrive at St Mary's. I'll also be the first port of call if you've got any issues or questions when you're here. My office is right slap bang in the centre of campus, so I'm quite easy to find, but always available on email if I'm not around when you need me. Yeah, so any questions, any emailing that you'll be doing now, either directly to me or the Study Abroad inbox, it'll be me that answers your queries. So let's start. Oh, goodness me. Sorry, that's a good start. One thing that most students recognise when they come to St Mary's is the very welcoming community. They make friends with students from all over the world. They meet them when they're here because everybody's in the same boat. You're all away from home, and you all want to explore and have adventures. And so it's a good way to meet new people. I think this student here, Anna, she's from the University of Arizona, and she's there outside Buckingham Palace. So this is our campus. We're based in southwest London. We're quite a small university by UK standards. We're about 5,500 undergraduate students who study about 150 degrees. That's covering both undergrad and postgraduate students. We are a Catholic university with a Catholic church on campus, although we're not a particularly religious organisation. It's just if you are Catholic and you find some comfort in that, then we do have a church on campus, but it's not obligatory to be Catholic. This is our campus here, right slap bang in the middle. You have the athletics track, and it goes all the way around here, and that white building there is Strawberry Hill House. So everything is available on campus. So you'll be living on campus, your classes will be on campus, and a lot of your socialising will be here as well. So, and it takes, I don't know, probably 7 to 10 minutes walking from one end to the other. So everywhere is quite accessible. We're a mixture of old and new architecture. So the sort of top left-hand corner here on the pictures, it looks like a stately home. But then we also have some modern architecture as well. The top right here is the sports centre and the gym. The bottom right here, I don't know if you've got any English literature students on this call, but the white building here is Strawberry Hill House, which was built by Horace Walpole, and it was the inspiration for the book The Castle of Otranto, which is considered to be the very first Gothic novel, which was published in 1764. So in terms of location, we're about half an hour from Heathrow and a similar distance from central London, so we're quite easy to get around. A lot of our students do mention when we ask for feedback of their experience, they like the fact that London is so accessible, so they can go to the nightclubs, the museums, all the attractions in central London, but they're not actually living right in the middle of all of the noise and the madness and the traffic. So we're in quite a calm location just on the outskirts of London in the borough of Richmond upon Thames. So Here are some landmarks of central London you might be familiar with. From post boxes to Big Ben, Tower of London, that's the city here, and the Millennium. Oh, can't remember what it's called. It's a viewing platform. You can see central London. We are based in the Royal Borough of Richmond upon Thames, which is, I don't know if we've got any Ted Lasso fans on the call, but Ted Lasso is filmed just up the road here. We're one of the safest boroughs in London. It's very green, it's very safe, it's a very family orientated place. So you'll be perfectly safe wandering around here. And where we're very close, as you can see here, that's Hampton Court Palace, which is just down the road. The deer here are in Bushy Park, which is, I think, about a 10-minute walk from campus. So as study abroad students, we organise a orientation and social programme for you, which includes a free pickup from Heathrow Airport on arrivals day. I haven't yet confirmed the day for international arrivals for semester 2, but for semester 1, sorry. So I will be publishing that as soon as we've agreed on a date. There's also a comprehensive orientation programme, which includes lots of information sessions about how to get the best of your time in St Mary's, and also there's a walking tour of London included. It's also walking tours of Twickenham, which is the closest town, and Kingston, which is the closest large town. So, and included in that, we'll give you advice on how to buy an Oyster card, the easiest way to get around. We'll show you where the local train stations are, the bus stop, so you can sort of settle into life in the UK really quickly. There's also the SMSU is the St Mary's Students' Union. They organise a lot of the events on campus. So if you're here for semester 1, then you'll be here for Freshers Week, and there's all sorts of events happening there, which is to help students integrate into the student body. We also use an external provider who organises social programmes for us, and you can sort of dip in and out to whichever trip you want. So it can be everything from Stonehenge and Bath. There's weekends in Wales, weekends in Scotland, and I think they've just started introducing weekends overseas now as well, when there was a bit of a hiatus during COVID. And I also organise regular meetups throughout the semester for all students. I tend to do it on Wednesday afternoons because there are fewer, because that tends to be the sports afternoon. So there are fewer lectures there. So I just book a room, buy pizza, and then just invite you in, and you can tell me all about the fantastic time you're having here. So there's quite a lot of ways to get involved. So here's a quote from a student who was here about 18 months ago. Yeah, so he had a great time, both academically and the chance to actually visit places near and around London, and also for weekend trips. There's a group of study abroad students here outside Windsor Castle. So in terms of academics, U of A students tend to study 3 modules. Which is what a full-time student would study here. You can study from pretty much any module on any program within the university. We do advise, if you're looking at, if you're interested in maybe psychology or nutrition, or maybe some of the more sort of science-based ones, that you'd stick to kind of level 4s, which is the first year undergrad ones, because you may not have the sort of the basic knowledge to succeed on the higher levels. That's not to say that we don't have faith in you. We absolutely do. It's just, it's in our interest for you to succeed. So there's a whole mixture here. One thing that I would like to say is the structure of the lectures is completely different to what you're used to. We tend to have fewer contact hours with our lecturers, but the classes tend to be longer. It's not uncommon to have for lectures to be maybe 2 or 3 hours in length, which does throw some people, but the majority of people succeed fantastically well. It's just a case of getting used to it. It's part of the study abroad experience when you have to embrace differences really to what you're used to at home. So you can also do an internship as part of your study abroad experience. And this works in the way that instead of doing 3 academic modules, you'll take 2 academic modules and then 1 additional module be the internship. So we normally ask you what your, if you have any work experience or what you're interested in and where you think your career path will go. And then we'll work with you to find a placement that best suits your needs. They're unpaid internships and they tend to be normally 1 day a week throughout the semester, and that's supplemented by weekly lectures as well, which gives you advice on interview techniques, resume, all sorts of things that will support you in your placement. There's no additional cost for this for doing it. However, you do need to pay for a visa. Although it's unpaid, you still need to have a visa. And the current cost for this is £363. So bear this in mind if you're interested in doing the internship. It's not a cost that's levied by us. It's just something that you have to do. And then something that's very new, it's the Study Abroad Drama Programme. Essentially, it's a bespoke programme. So rather than taking modules from all around the university, you would choose the drama option. So you could do either the technical theatre or acting, and then you do modules which are solely centred around those. You can do, for the technical theatre, you can actually do a work placement as well. Again, that includes a visa, that requires a visa. And also as part of that, you go and visit weekly shows in London. So that's everything from the local rep theatre to comedy shows to sort of larger productions. It's wide ranging. We held our very first study abroad drama programme this last semester, and the students had a fantastic time. So if you're looking at, if you're a drama student or an acting student, then I think this would be right up your street. It's only running in semester 1 though. So if you're kind of just toying with the idea of doing a study abroad and you're interested in this, then this only runs in semester 1. And here's a quote from a student who was on the very first one last year. So yeah, she loved to go and see the performances every week. And so she could actually she was a lighting designer. So she used that experience to help her in her academic studies as well. We've also got the Liberal Arts Summer School, which we run in the summer. It's a 6-week programme on liberal arts. There are 5 modules to choose from Renaissance London, Enlightenment or Romanticism, Popular Culture, In and Out of the Gothic, or London Theatre. There is a trip attached to each one of those modules. And even if you're not actually following the module, everybody is welcome to come on the trips. This is a student here who was walking across the very famous Abbey Road pedestrian crossing, which is made famous by the Beatles. And so there is another a social programme involved in this. There's an on-campus accommodation and meal plan, so you have one price for everything, and applications are now open. This is a quote from an Australian student. This picture here, the girl on the left is from Canada, Tara's from Australia, and the girl on the right is from Denmark. So it's a truly international experience coming to study abroad in London. And Tara liked traveling around and studying the subjects that she wouldn't necessarily be studying back in Australia. I'm not going to read this all, but if you want to skim read it while it's on the page. Right, and this is where technology is likely to go horribly wrong. This is Maya, who was here last semester. She was a study abroad student from the U of A. Right, bear with me. Hopefully this will work.
My name is Maya Kostov, and I've been studying politics here at St. Mary's. I found it pretty interesting. It's very different than the United States, but I've had a lot of help kind of adjusting to the different structure of courses, so it's been pretty good. So one of my lecturers through terrorism and counter-radicalization, he's really interesting. He makes the lectures very engaging, and it's very discussion heavy, which I like a lot. And then Nina Samoda, she is my criminology professor for one of my classes. She also makes it very interesting. She brings in a lot of guest lecturers, and we do trips, like we just did one to the Wormwood Scrubs prison to kind of see firsthand the topics that we're learning about in class, which I like a lot. I love it. I love the city of London. I've had a blast traveling around London and kind of doing the typical touristy sightseeing things. So yeah, it's been amazing. The National Gallery. The National Gallery is my favorite by far. It's completely free, and I could sit there for hours. So I went to Barcelona, I did Paris, I did Amsterdam just last week, and my family's from Bulgaria, so I actually got to go and visit them for a little bit, which was nice as well.
Right, let's have a look at the student societies as well. We always ask, or we always encourage students to go and join a student society. It's the best way to get in touch with people. So we offer all sorts, from the International Society to cinema, drama, any of the subjects really. And if you're interested in sport, there is a number of sports clubs as well. So as a study abroad student, you're also guaranteed accommodation on campus, providing that you make your application within the deadline. We normally give you lots of chasing though, so you don't miss your deadline. So it depends on your price really. What there's various options that you can have, you from a shared room with a shared bathroom all the way up to a single room with a single bathroom. So there are different options. So the semester, you can have one semester, which is semester 1, which is mid-September to mid-December, and semester 2 then is normally end of January to late May, or that you can apply for the full year if you wish. So in terms of the process, you apply through the link on the application form. I know some of you are already familiar with that. Then you'll get your acceptance. So we ask you to accept the offer. If you're doing an internship, then obviously you'll have to apply for your CAS, which is the number that you need to apply for your visa. And then once the application deadline passes, you'll be asked to apply for accommodation. You have to wait until we send you the email for that though. You won't be able to apply for it until you get it. That would normally be kind of end of May, and the deadline for that is early June. So once you've made your application, then you'll receive an offer later on for your room, and then at that point then you have to pay your deposit in order to accept it. After that, you'll have to complete your module preference forms, and then in September, just before you arrive, we'll ask you to complete online registration, and also we'll ask for your flight details so we can organise transport for you when you arrive. And then you'll be here and having a fantastic time. Just like Brady, a lot of our students especially study abroad students, it's normally their first time out of the US. So it's quite daunting to get on the plane and your very first experience outside of your home country. But as you can see, Brady thought the program was awesome. And that's it. Has anybody got any questions? Nobody? Are you all excited to come? Yeah. Are you applying for Tato? I'm sorry, I don't mean to name and shame you, but I can see your smiling, happy face. Are you looking at semester one, or are you just sort of toying with the idea of studying abroad?
I'm looking at semester one. But...
Okay. So you have no more questions. You're quite happy with the information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just have to talk with my parents later, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, it's I don't think anybody regrets doing it. I mean, it's a huge step, but because we're quite a small university, and I work very closely with the study abroad office at the U of A, we try and make sure that there's a kind of there's a feeling, well, you're supported when you're making your application, both in the US and also when you get here. So you should always, there'll always be somebody here to talk to or to get advice from. So yeah, if you've got any questions, you can just email me.
Thank you. So picking our like roommate, if we want to share like a room and a bathroom,
yeah,
will there be like a form later on, or? I have no clue. I've never been out there yet, so.
Oh, right. No, well, when you apply for accommodation, if you specifically want to ask for a shared room, then you just make your application that way. I think they're allocated on the basis of, because if you're just coming for one semester, you're likely to be put in a room with another single semester study abroad student. To be honest with you, it's not quite so. I know it's quite normal in the US to have a roommate. In the UK, not quite so much. So we tend to find that the students sharing rooms, they tend to be study abroad, and a lot of them are from the US. Not always. I can't guarantee it certainly will be the case for you, but a lot of the time it will be another American. But you know, it's a way to make friends. I mean, I guess you could always request if you want to share with somebody you already know, but hey, you know, that's the beauty of study abroad. You get to, you know, embrace new experiences.